Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Depleted of strength or energy. Tired mothers with crying babies. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Not challenging. Dull and lacking excitement. A trite or obvious remark. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. His remarks were trite and commonplace. Completely ordinary and unremarkable. Air travel has now become commonplace. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Hackneyed phrases. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Out of fashion. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Worn or faded from being on display in a store. Shop-worn merchandise at half price. The handle of a handgun or the butt end of a rifle or shotgun are part of the support of a machine gun or artillery gun. The rifle had been fitted with a special stock. The merchandise that a shop has on hand. Persistent thickened stem of herbaceous perennial plant. Any of several Old World plants cultivated for their brightly colored flowers. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. A stock answer. Put forth and grow sprouts or shoots. The descendants of one individual. Any of various ornamental flowering plants of the genus Malcolmia. A special variety of domesticated animals within a species. Have on hand. A supply of something available for future use. Any animals kept for use or profit. A certificate documenting the shareholder's ownership in the corporation. The value of his stocks doubled during the past year. Amass so as to keep for future use or sale or for a particular occasion or use. Let's stock coffee as long as prices are low. Regularly and widely used or sold. A stock item. Liquid in which meat and vegetables are simmered, used as a basis for e.g. soups or sauces. She made gravy with a base of beef stock. An ornamental white cravat. A plant or stem onto which a graft is made, especially a plant grown specifically to provide the root part of grafted plants. Equip with a stock. Stock a rifle. Lumber used in the construction of something. They will cut round stock to 1 inch diameter. Provide or furnish with a stock of something. Stock the larder with meat. Routine. A stock answer. Supply with fish. Stock a lake. Supply with livestock. Stock a farm. The capital raised by a corporation through the issue of shares entitling holders to an ownership interest, equity. He owns a controlling share of the company's stock. The handle end of some implements or tools. He grabbed the cue by the stalk. The reputation and popularity a person has. His stock was so high he could have been elected mayor. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Repeating threadbare jokes. Having the nap worn away so that the threads show through. Threadbare rugs. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Parroting some time-worn axiom. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. His remarks were trite and commonplace. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. Showing signs of much wear or use. Not original. Not being or productive of something fresh and unusual. The manuscript contained unoriginal emendations. Drained of energy or effectiveness. Extremely tired, completely exhausted. You look worn out. Physically and mentally fatigued. A wary is archaic. A regular route for a sentry or policeman. In the old days, a policeman walked a beat and knew all his people by name. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. Agassi beat Becker in the tennis championship. Make a rhythmic sound. The drums beat all night. Avoid paying. Beat the subway fare. Move rhythmically. Her heart was beating fast. Be a mystery or bewildering to. This beats me. Wear out completely. I'm beat. Make a sound like a clock or a timer. The grandfather clock beat midnight. The rhythmic contraction and expansion of the arteries with each beat of the heart. He could feel the beat of her heart. Move with a flapping motion. The basic rhythmic unit in a piece of music. The conductor set the beat. Very tired. So beat I could flop down and go to sleep anywhere. Move with or as if with a regular alternating motion. A member of the beat generation. A nonconformist in dress and behavior. Prosody. The accent in a metrical foot of verse. Give a beating to. Subject to a beating, either as a punishment or as an act of aggression. Thugs beat him up when he walked down the street late at night. Move with a thrashing motion. The eagle beat its wings and soared high into the sky. Beat through cleverness and wit. I beat the traffic. Stir vigorously. Beat the egg whites. A regular rate of repetition. The cocks raised the beat. A single pulsation of an oscillation produced by adding two waves of different frequencies has a frequency equal to the difference between the two oscillations. A stroke or blow. The signal was 2 beats on the steam pipe. Be superior. Reading beats watching television. Glare or strike with great intensity. The sun was beating down on us. Hit repeatedly. Beat on the door. Indicate by beating, as with the fingers or drumsticks. Make by pounding or trampling. Beat a path through the forest. Produce a rhythm by striking repeatedly. Beat the drum. Sail with much tacking or with difficulty. The boat beat in the strong wind. Shape by beating. Beat swords into plowshares. Strike. A part of one's own body, repeatedly, as in great emotion or in accompaniment to music. Beat one's breast. Strike, water or bushes, repeatedly to rouse animals for hunting. The act of beating to windward, sailing as close as possible to the direction from which the wind is blowing. The sound of stroke or blow. He heard the beat of a drum. Make dim or indistinct. Tired to the point of exhaustion. Tired to the point of exhaustion. Tired to the point of exhaustion. Indistinct or hazy in outline. Tired to the point of exhaustion. Tired of the world. Bored with life. Uninterested because of frequent exposure or indulgence. The bored gaze of the successful film star. Destroyed or badly damaged by fire. Exhausted as a result of long-time stress. She was burned out before she was 30. Inoperative as a result of heat or friction. A burned-out picture tube. Destroyed or badly damaged by fire. Barricaded the street with burnt-out cars. Exhausted as a result of long-time stress. Inoperative as a result of heat or friction. Very tired. Bushed after all that exercise. Showing the wearing effects of overwork or care or suffering. Looking careworn as she bent over her mending. Devoid of physical sensation. Numb. His gums were dead from the Novocaine. Followed by, to, not showing human feeling or sensitivity, unresponsive. Passers-by were dead to our plea for help. Very tired. I'm dead after that long trip. Drained of electric charge, discharge. A dead battery. Not circulating or flowing. Dead air. Quickly and without warning. Completely and without qualification, used informally as intensifiers. You can be dead sure of my innocence. Not yielding a return. Dead capital. A time when coldness, or some other quality associated with death, is intense. The dead of winter. Devoid of activity. This is a dead town. Nothing ever happens here. Lacking acoustic resonance. Dead sounds characteristic of some compact discs. Lacking resilience or bounce. A dead tennis ball. No longer having force or relevance. A dead issue. No longer having or seeming to have or expecting to have life. The nerve is dead. Not showing characteristics of life, especially the capacity to sustain life. No longer exerting force or having energy or heat. Mars is a dead planet. Not surviving in active use. Latin is a dead language. Out of use or operation because of a fault or breakdown. A dead telephone line. People who are no longer living. They buried the dead. Physically inactive. Crater Lake is in the crater of a dead volcano of the Cascade Range. The complete stoppage of an action. Came to a dead stop. Unerringly accurate. A dead shot. Drained of energy or effectiveness. Extremely tired, completely exhausted. He went to bed dog tired. Very tired. Drained of electric charge, discharge. Left the lights on and came back to find the battery drained. emptied or exhausted of, as by drawing off, e.g. water or other liquid. A drained marsh. Showing the wearing effects of overwork or care or suffering. Her face was drawn and haggard from sleeplessness. Having the curtains or draperies closed or pulled shut. The drawn draperies kept direct sunlight from fading the rug. Having branches or flower heads that bend downward. Lilacs with drooping panicles of fragrant flowers. Weak from exhaustion. Hanging down, as from exhaustion or weakness. Drained of energy or effectiveness, extremely tired, completely exhausted. The day's shopping left her exhausted. Depleted of energy, force, or strength. Impossible to grow tobacco on the exhausted soil. Drained physically. The day's events left her completely exhausted, her strength drained. Drained of energy or effectiveness, extremely tired, completely exhausted. Was fagged and sweaty.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.